Welcome to Shruti Out Loud.
Hello. So, as promised, I am bringing new people on board to have a discussion with me about way of life because that is what Shruti Out Loud podcast is about. So, today I will be discussing about Pilates with somebody I met here in Jibi. So I met her here on this property that we were staying at, and I thought that this might be a very good story. So I asked her, and she agreed, and that's the episode that we are recording today. I will be bringing her on board in just a little while, and as you know, what this episode is going to be about. So I really hope that you enjoy it. I really hope that you like it. And if you have any questions, you can just mail me, comment on the section below down below on YouTube, or yeah, I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello. So as I just told you who our guest is going to be for today's episode, this is Aishwarya, and without adding anything on my own, I will let her speak and I will let her tell you guys who is Aishwarya and what is it exactly that she does. Hi Aishwarya, first of all, thank you for agreeing to be a part of this.
Thank you for having me. That's so kind of you.
So, Aishwarya, what is it that you do and how did you start this off? Could you maybe just,
Yeah.
take us back to your past and let us know about it?
Absolutely. So I'm actually a MBA grad and I've done my MBA in marketing.
All
So I
right.
started off actually even before that. I think I ventured into CA. So I finished a little bit of CA.
Oh,
Yeah, so
all
before
right.
starting my articleship, that was when I started taking into Pilates. So I've always been into sports, like not probably in a very professional level, but just generally like in school and college and stuff. But and after a while, like once you start growing up, you don't really focus much, right? So you just like
Absolutely.
let things be. And during my CA time, I think that was when I really felt sort of very unhealthy and stuff. So that's when I took to Pilates
Okay.
as just like because everybody was talking about it.
All right.
So I thought I should probably try Pilates just as a hobby or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had this one lady I followed on YouTube, and I got like her CD from the US.
Okay.
And that was the only way I got connected to Pilates. I had no idea that people were doing it in India or anything like that.
As you just mentioned that, you got the CD from
Yeah.
US.
Yeah.
So I think we are talking about like years ago because when we
Yeah.
talk about CD, it's
Exactly.
years ago. Yeah.
So I think I was what 19, 18, 19. So
Okay,
that's when,
alright.
yeah, I think, yeah, maybe 19 because I was just into college then. And then
Alright.
I just started with, start trying what Pilates was. And then that piqued my interest and I just kind of was reading about it, learning. I did like a very short online course,
Right.
which was probably not very detailed, but it gave me an idea about what Pilates was.
All right.
And then because I was just interested and people knew that I was doing it, they would just tell me to teach them.
Okay.
So it was just family and friends
Yeah.
who would learn from me. And again, I was, like I told you, I was doing my CA, so I was not bothered about taking this up professionally.
Yeah.
And then I quit my CA because that was not something that I wanted to do. So
Yeah.
I did my MBA in marketing.
Okay.
Again, during that phase, I was training a few of my friends, like in college, we used to have like small sessions and stuff like that. But post that, I joined an advertising company. Like it was a campus placement, so I joined an advertising company. That's when I got into the real corporate life, and I knew that was not me. Like I was so not cut out for that.
Right.
So I gave it a year and a half, and during that time, I was kind of building my base as to knowing what people are interested in, whether there are studios here.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I took like a good 6 months break, and I got my certification done.
All right.
So once I got my certification, then I was certified to teach, obviously. Then I took a break from my job and sort of, ventured into this. Again, I gave myself another 6 months.
Okay.
Ki chala to chala, nahi to I'll get back to my work again.
हाँ,
Like, anyway, I
ठीक है.
have a degree and I'll get back to my
Right.
work. But luckily for me, there were not a lot of instructors then in Bombay, and it just like one thing led to another. I got associated with a few studios, and then it's been like no turning back for 5 years. I've just been on with it. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite interesting to know that you did all of that. You did what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
The way it is said, CA, MBA, and all of that,
Exactly.
and then you had the courage to just
Quit.
leave
Yeah.
it all and follow your passion.
Yeah, that's I think all to do with my family because they have been supportive about it. Like I don't think I'm not a very I might be a little indecisive at times. So it was my mom who told me, she's like, yeah, if it doesn't work for you, leave it. Like just try something that works for you. So a 6 month period was a good enough time to kind of know if things are working out.
And it did.
It did.
It did.
So
It
yeah.
absolutely
God bless her, I think that was what I was meant to do. So I then carried on with it.
So how did you come to know about it?
About Pilates?
Yes.
So I think when we are teenagers, we read a lot of these fashion blogs or fashion magazines, right? So
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
West, everybody was doing it. Every actress, anywhere you read,
That's true.
yeah. So they would say strong abs, Pilates. They would. That was what Pilates.
Yeah.
People
That's
know
how-
about
yeah, yeah.
Pilates. But it's so much more than that. Pilates is a lot more than just strong abs. Yes, that is like a byproduct of it.
Uh-huh.
But that was where I got the idea, and I used to call it pilates myself. Like I didn't know it was called Pilates.
Okay.
I mean, for a long time, I heard people here also call it pilates.
Yeah.
And that's when I started learning it, and you know, obviously you know better after that.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so moving on to next question, let's walk a little and
Yeah,
take
yeah.
this conversation ahead with us. As we'll keep moving on to other questions, just for the audience. All right. So okay, so as you just said that people think that Pilates is just about abs.
Correct.
So could you maybe tell us a little what exactly Pilates is, and maybe it will help people understand that
Sure.
why should they do it, who should do it, who is it for, and maybe just answer.
Yeah. So see, Pilates is for everybody. Like a 6-year-old kid, like a person who's moving, should do Pilates. Technically,
Alright.
that's what we believe.
Okay.
Once you start moving correctly or you're walking correctly, you
Uh-huh.
should be doing Pilates. But Pilates got a lot of attention because it's a very rehab sort of workout. You know, people with severe lower back problems or probably neck issues or something like
Yeah.
that, they would probably do, like doctors would ask them to sort of, reach out to an instructor who can teach them Pilates. But Pilates is to basically strengthen your core muscles. Now, when we
Alright.
say core, basic idea is abs.
Right.
But core is the entire belt on the center. It even includes your glutes, which is your butt. So you
Oh,
need to
is-
have, core is a very
oh.
important, I mean, the
So
glutes
I-
are a very important part of your core. So there's a lot of misconception saying that core is just your abs, so keep your abs tight. No. So core is also a lot of lower back muscles, your upper trunk muscles. So again, Pilates helps you with sort of balancing all of this. It gives you an amazing posture, which is something that all of us have screwed up, I think, in the
Completely.
past so many years, like with the
Completely,
kind of
yeah,
lifestyle
yeah.
we lead. So yeah, Pilates is a posture control movement. It's great to make any other movement that you do better. So if you're a
Okay, okay.
sportsman, it'll help you probably run better. Whatever sport you're in, it helps you do that better.
Alright.
It focuses on the smaller muscle groups of your body.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a gym workout where you pick up weights and you feel like very pumped and stuff, right? So it works on the very subtle smaller muscle groups. I call it the hangers of your body.
Alright.
So if your hangers are strong, whatever you put on it is going to be strong.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's a
So-
very good example, actually. Yeah.
I just keep telling that's the easiest way to make people understand. Like
Yeah.
your hangers get stronger. So then when you put, like, even if you're a bodybuilder, so you're putting on so much of muscle mass on top, it's not going to hurt you're not going to injure yourself.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a very basically injury prevention form of exercise.
So, if we talk about beginners who want to start off with it, so what would be the ideal number of days in a week that people should do it for?
2 to 3 times is good.
Okay.
You can do it even every day, but when you're just starting off, even 2 times becomes quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is quite intense. When you actually get into the form, when you're being instructed correctly, there's a lot of mind work also that goes into it, which is also why people mistake it with yoga. Like they think it's yoga. Because when you see a mat Pilates movement, it looks very similar to yoga. Which is also, I mean, it's not wrong to think that because Pilates was also taken out of yoga. So there were 63 forms of exercises that
Okay.
Joseph Pilates took Pilates out of. I mean,
Alright.
made Pilates the form
Alright.
separately. So yoga being one of it.
Alright.
So yeah, there's a lot of mind-body connection that happens with Pilates and yoga. That's a similarity, but the way we do the movement and all of that, the engagements, the breathing, everything is different in terms of the difference between the two. Yeah.
So, just taking you back just a minute before.
yeah.
So, could you maybe tell us a little about how Pilates came into being, or the history of
Okay.
it
So
all?
short history is actually Joseph Pilates. He's the the head behind the whole form. This started during the Second World War, and he was he was one of the soldiers. He was one of the doctors for one of the camps in Germany.
All right.
And that's when he started training people in this form. And it turned out that this camp that he was training turned out to be the fittest camp compared to all other camps that was in the Second World War.
Okay.
So that's when the word started spreading about how good the exercise form is. But he was like a taskmaster. Like if you see some of his videos on YouTube, he would like literally put people on the reformer. Like he had made a reformer, that's a machine that you use in Pilates. with like springs in bed, and he would like just push their head down, and so it's that intense. Like that's what he turned it. I mean, that's what he made it. But now it's obviously we make it more subtle, and but it's quite a hard exercise form. Like initially you obviously build on it. Anybody from an advanced, even an advanced athlete finds it tough. So yeah, it challenges you quite a bit.
So talking about the difference between yoga and Pilates. So when we talk about yoga, we have different versions and different forms. Like Ashtanga yoga is yes, it is quite difficult. But when we talk about Yin yoga, it is quite easy going, and there's a difference.
Correct.
So is there anything like that when it comes to Pilates, or is it just pure intense
See, there's
stuff?
this one it's just one form, but yes, nowadays people are adding in a lot of they call it yoga lattes. They call it so you can bring in anything. They can bring I think there was something that brought in music into it. They call it dance Pilates, cardio Pilates. You can give it any name, but no, the traditional Pilates is not. There's no meddling with that. Like at least I don't believe in it, but I'm sure it does work for a lot of people. So I do the classical Pilates.
Achha. Okay. All right. All right. So coming to our next question, because nowadays we all know that people are finally focusing more on their workouts, their fitness, and all of that, and yoga is there, gym is there, running, all of those things are there, and so is Pilates. But do you think is it just a fad that it will fade away, or do you think it is going to stay?
I hope not, because I'll be out of a job otherwise.
But so for how long has it been?
See, the thing is, if you're a runner, you're always going to be a runner, right? So if you like running, you'll always like running.
Right.
So if somebody is trying Pilates and it works for them, they're never going to let it go. Like they know what difference it makes to their body. They'll always be like they'll be very sincere towards it. But considering it to be a fad, I don't know, because right now, yes, a lot of people are doing Pilates, but then it does help. Like it's not like you do Pilates, you don't have to do anything else, or you're doing something else, you don't have to ever do Pilates. Pilates, like I told you, just helps you do whatever you're doing. It makes you do it better. So if you're a weightlifter, if you're a model, if you're whatever, like it just helps you get your tone and get your like in general, just have your body balance much better. So I think we all like a change. Like at times, if you're constantly running, you would want to try something else. If you're constantly gymming, you would want to try something else. So I don't think it's going to die out anytime, because the science is so perfect. There couldn't be, I mean, there wouldn't be anything like, maybe someday there will be like reinventions in it. People might just know, I mean, centers might just know better. We'll know better, like what we knew 10 years back and what we know now. Like what Joseph Pilates had created then and the Pilates that's happening now, there's a difference, because we have understood body anatomy better. Science has grown a lot more. So like that, it can just get better. But I don't see it like dying out anytime. Like there's no reason for it to happen.
That's true. Absolutely. So talking about your students, so far you must have taught a good number of students. So what is their take on this? Do they stick to it?
Yep.
Completely.
100%. Like I've not had anybody, I mean, I've had people who have left for a while. That's probably because they wanted to take a break and they were traveling and stuff, but they all come back. Like everybody has seen a difference in terms of what it can do for your body, what it can do for your posture. Because initially in the first 1 month you're not going to feel. Actually 12 sessions is enough to feel the difference. But if you want to really see the difference, you need to give yourself at least 6 months. That's with any form. Like it's not just with Pilates. But yes, you'll see a considerable difference, and you know that the kind of change that you see. So I've always had people coming back for sure.
That's a good sign.
That's
a very good sign. Yes, if people are sticking to it, if people can see the difference, because the only thing is that nowadays people have become a little more impatient, in my opinion.
True.
They want to see changes like that.
Oh yeah, I get people telling me that I need to go somewhere, I need to go on a holiday in 1 month's time, I need to lose weight.
Exactly.
So it's all about weight loss. The whole entire fitness thing has come down to weight loss. That's sad, but it's everything. Like nobody wants to just do, I mean, it's like brushing your teeth, right? It should be like a part of your daily routine. The day you don't do it, it feels odd, but the day you're doing it, you don't even realize you've done it. Like, so it's something
it becomes
like
a part of you.
It becomes a part of you. But this 3-month thing, 6-month thing. People are so Pilates probably doesn't work for everybody. I know a lot of people for whom Pilates doesn't work. Like
Okay.
my own brother doesn't like it. Like he's an
Okay.
athlete. He plays a lot, but he finds Pilates extremely slow. It needs a lot of mind work. He can't do it. He needs something that will be
Quick.
challenging in
Ah.
high intensity routines.
Yeah.
So it's subjective. Like some people really like it, some people don't like it. So that's always going to be there in any
That's
form.
true. Yeah. All right, moving on to our next question. So we have already discussed the difference between Pilates and other forms of fitness workout.
Yeah.
Is there anything particular that you would like to mention, that that you would like to highlight, that so that people can clearly see the difference, that this is what this is and this is what this is, and yeah. So already you have mentioned, but is
Yeah.
there anything else that you would like to add on to that?
Like comparing Pilates to other forms?
Yes, other fitness forms, fitness
No, you can.
workout.
I don't think we can ever compare two fitness forms. Like I would, like no fitness form is bad.
Right.
Any movement is good movement. Whether you're
Uh-huh.
walking, even if you're walking 10,000 steps, you're walking just up a mountain, or you're just probably going for a stroll in the evening. That's also fine, as long as you're moving. But like I told you, Pilates is very specific. There are specific needs everybody have. Like
Yeah.
everybody's body is built differently.
Right.
There are people who come in like probably with a knee injury or with a back injury. Now a lot of people are having cervical problems because of being on our screens. So yes, everybody's need is different, but you can Pilates can be tailor made to your needs, like any other form of exercise. Yeah, but this
Okay.
is like like I took you through the entire thing, so that's how it is. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Ashwarya.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all that information.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Now I want to get into the technicality of it.
Yeah.
So, what are the certifications that you have done? What are the certifications that you usually need to be an instructor? Because if anybody from our audience is, interested or keen on taking this path,
Yeah. Yeah.
so what is it that you would suggest? Maybe some places or whichever.
So the place that I got it done was Stott Pilates, Merrithew. It's in Canada.
All right.
So that's because I'm a Stott Pilates instructor, so I'll obviously swear by it.
Yeah.
But you do have a lot of schools like Balance Body, and there are a lot of new ones cropping up. But I would suggest doing it outside of India. They
Okay.
do have their centers in India, so
All right.
that school having a center in India, if they're running any certifications, that's a great option to take up.
All right.
But I don't know in India whether there is anybody who's certifying Pilates very correctly. So right now, probably
Okay.
it might happen a few years down the line. But to get an idea about Pilates, you can do any certification that's happening in India as well.
Yeah.
But to be really good at it, I really think the one Stott Pilates is one of the best that we have right now.
All right.
So that's a great place to begin. Balance Body is a great place to begin. I think Balance Body has a lot of centers in India also.
Okay.
I know in Bombay we have 2-3, but
Uh-huh.
I am not sure in other places of India. So yeah,
Alright.
these are the two that people can look up and probably get onto it. Yeah.
And what is the duration for the same?
It varies. So if you're starting a mat Pilates
Uh-huh.
certification, it should be about 2 to 3 months ideally.
Okay.
Anybody telling you that they can teach you Pilates in 3 days is lying. So that's definitely not a good certification to go for.
Yeah.
You give it at
Crash
least
courses.
Yeah, exactly. So that never works. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, probably a month is good for a mat Pilates. Then every equipment is different. Your reformer is different. Your chair is different. Cadillac. So you have a certification for all of that. So you need to be certified in everything separately to teach those equipment separately. So they're all
Oh.
very complicated machines. But
Yeah.
once you do it, obviously it's not very complicated. But yeah, you need to be certified to do it correctly. Others, they can injure you also.
So the average duration would be anything from 3 to 6 months, would you
months,
say?
yeah.
6 months.
Absolutely.
6 plus.
6 plus. Six, I mean,
Alright.
6 plus is that's only if you're not clearing your exams and you need to clear. Yeah.
But otherwise
Other
6
6 is good. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, all right. So now coming to your personal life a bit.
Yeah.
So what does your day look like? Being a Pilates instructor, that's what you do all day,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So just, let us know how your day starts and how your day
Okay.
ends, and what is it all that you do during
Yeah.
that day.
So see, during this lockdown, it's been completely crazy because I've just been not the best thing for a physical instructor to be sitting and teaching, but that's what has happened because everything has
Yeah.
happened online now.
Right.
But like lockdown phase, it's just like I start my day at 4 in the morning. So I have like an hour to myself where I work out and I sort of prepare myself for the day. Then I start my day at say 6:30ish and I have my sessions until 12.
Okay.
Then I take a short break like say until 3ish,
Uh-huh.
and then 3 to 5 is my next batch. And then again I take a break and then I have my last session from 8 to say 9:30, 10ish. So then the day is quite long, so I'm not
Yeah,
really complaining because it's good to be engaged and good to be occupied, especially
Yeah.
during these lockdown phases. But pre-lockdown, it used to be more in the studio.
Okay.
So studio is a little more phased out. Like we'll have people coming in probably very periodically. Like maybe some days are very heavy, some days are light.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's more or less somewhere around this schedule. Maybe not starting at 6 o'clock. I might start at 9.
A little later, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Aishwarya, because you are throughout the day,
Yeah.
this is what you do. So,
Yeah.
doesn't it become a bit strenuous or exhausting? Because this
Yeah.
is a form of physical exercise that you are doing throughout.
Yeah. So lockdown phase, I don't find it physically exhausting. Probably more because I'm talking a lot, that's a little exhausting. But
Yeah.
otherwise, no. And also, when you're passionate about it, you don't feel it. You just feel like you just want to do it more and more.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you do. If you're putting in like a 13-14 hour day, but
Absolutely.
you do feel a little exhausted. But that's
That's
a part
okay.
of the job, so it's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have already mentioned that the first hour of the day
Yeah.
is yours. So
Yeah.
that is the time that you work out for your own self.
Yes. But largely, yes, I try to keep it at 4 to 5 in the morning. The days I can't, then I shift it to the evening.
But you
But yeah,
definitely dedicate
100%.
an hour for yourself.
Yeah. Because then that's when you need to know the choreography for the day. So again, Pilates is like a flow. So you need to have a choreography. Like you need to keep changing the choreography because people do get bored with it. So that's when that's your time. Like when
Yeah.
you can sort of be creative.
Work on that, huh?
Yeah.
So how does that happen?
Yeah.
That is something that I'm really curious about because you mentioned it.
Huh?
So the choreography that you change. So what goes on in your head when you are thinking about it? Is it more about the comfort? Is it more about the challenge, or how does it go?
No, it's more about what you need. Now, for example, if I know that you need to, say, correct your posture, if I know that you need to, strengthen your back, then the choreography will go on to that. When I say choreography, it doesn't look like a dance choreography,
Yeah.
but it's like
The
it's
flow,
a flow.
huh?
Yeah, so you go from one exercise to the next, which is when you'll feel the intensity of the workout. So it can't be like, so for example, in the gym when we do a workout, we'll say squats, like 10 repetitions, 3 sets. So you can take a break in between that.
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
doesn't happen like that. You don't repeat any exercise. So you're doing one exercise, you're moving on to the next. So we have like, so at least the way I work is like, suppose I need to work 3 muscle groups of your body.
Right.
So that's where I focus my choreography on.
Okay.
So then I'll know that these 5 exercises can be done for this muscle group, this can be done for that, this can be done for that, and then how can we merge all of this together
All right.
and then make it like a flow as far as we can.
And how often do you change it for your students?
Mostly every day because I get
Oh.
bored seeing the same thing every day. So at least
Right.
mat Pilates I can do that. When it comes to the
Yeah.
equipments, it
Obviously, you have to.
it's a little more precise and very focused movement.
Right.
But there there are repetitive movements that will happen.
Alright.
But yeah, there also you can have a beautiful flow like from one to the next to the next. That happens in the more advanced stages.
Alright.
Like when they're beginners and people are just trying to learn the equipment. That goes it's a very slow progression.
Right. But once
Yeah.
it's done, then
Oh yeah, then there's a lot you can do on the machine.
wow. Okay. So yeah, that's quite interesting. That basically your students, they don't know what's really going to
No.
happen next day.
Next day it'll be totally different.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's real
I
fun.
hope so.
All right. So the moment this passion of yours,
Uh-huh.
it became your work.
Yeah.
This is what you do day in and day out now.
Yeah.
Did it change anything for you?
Yeah, at least I don't feel stressed at the end of the day. Because when I was in a corporate setup, I would crib getting to work. Like for me, there's no Monday morning blues now. I work on a
Yeah.
Sunday also, so there's not. I mean, I take a holiday when I want to, and if I'm not doing anything on a Sunday, I don't mind working. Like,
Yeah.
it's totally fine. So that way, I totally feel blissed out about it. So that's one perk. Yeah.
That's true. So, talking about passion,
Yeah.
what would you suggest people who are listening to this right now?
Yeah.
People who are passionate about something or the other, but they are possibly not pursuing it for one reason or the other.
Yeah.
What is that one thing that you would want to tell people?
I think it's repetitive. I think everybody said it. You just need to take that step.
Yeah.
Take that one step. Like I told you, give yourself 3 months. It works, it works. Doesn't work, you can always go back
Go
to
back,
what you were
yeah.
doing. At least you won't have that regret key. You have not tried something. You wanted to do something. Maybe 10 years down the line, it gets more late to try what you want to do.
Right.
It's no problem, right? Or probably you're on a job. You could probably start whatever you want to as a side run. If you see that picking up, you can shift on to it, or probably run both of it parallelly.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so if it's not consuming too much of your time on both, it's just about taking that one step and
Yeah.
seeing how it goes for you.
Absolutely. So, listeners, audience, you have heard it. You have heard it from her. You have heard it from a lot of my guests that if you're passionate about something, just go for it. That's the way. That's the only way. And you literally get like one life. I mean, you get many more. That's what I believe in. But this is the one that you are in right now. So, just go for it. Do it. What are you waiting for? Don't wait for it.
Absolutely.
All right. So, that's most of the conversation that I wanted to have with you, Aishwarya. The last thing that I want to talk to you about is that possibly the audience, the listeners who would want to get in touch with you or want to sort of join your sessions,
Sure.
how can they get in touch with you?
So I'm on Instagram and I'm pretty responsive there. So
Okay.
you can reach out to me. I can probably give you my link and you tag it or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can reach out to me on Instagram,
All right.
and then we can take it forward from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the next question is that do you do groups or do you do individuals or
So
is it
when
both?
it's right now, when it's online, I prefer doing it privates
Okay.
because keeping an eye on a group class when you're behind a screen is very difficult.
All right.
And also queuing and all of these things in
Uh-huh.
Pilates is very important. So right now it's all privates,
Mm-hmm.
but once things open up, yes, then it's groups. You do have group mat Pilates classes,
Okay.
but privates will again happen on the machine. So when we open up on studios, we have like machines, and there it's again 1-to-1, or at the most we take 3 people in a batch. Because
Okay.
that's when you can really see the difference. Because if you're going to see huge, at least I believe in that. I know
Yeah.
places that have say 10 machines also, but I don't know whether the quality is really great in terms of what a person can get. I'm sure the teaching will be great, but
Right.
not everybody gets if you're on a machine like with 10 other people, you're already like thinking what's happening. So 3 is an ideal number, so that's how we function. Yeah.
Thank you. And
Thank you for having me.
there's just one last question.
Absolutely.
So how early would you suggest anybody to start it? Like, somebody wants to do it, but they don't know how to today.
Yesterday was the earliest.
That's a very good
Yeah.
answer.
Because there's no time. Like even if you're say 60 plus and you feel like doing it, you should. In fact, any
Wonderful.
time is great to involve movement in your life. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right. Thank you, Aishwarya. Thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you.
And I have learned a lot. And I'm sure the audience, the listeners, they are also going to learn quite a bit about
Thank you. My pleasure.
Pilates because of you. And
My
yeah.
pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe.